Би Жаргалсайхан байна. Та юу чадхаа, юу байгаагаараа, хаа байгаа газараа хичээнгүүлэн хий. Сайн байцгаана уу хүнд үзэгчдээ. Өнөөдөр ороо манай Facto нэвтрүүлгийн зочноор Оюу Толгой компани гүйцэтгэх захирал Камерон, Макрей оролцож байна.
Камерон, Макрей. Оюу Толгой компани Ерөнхийлөгч бөгөөд Гүйцэтгэх Ерөнхий захирал мөн тууцын захирал Ерөнхий компани Монгол дахь захирлын албыг тус хашдаг. Тус компанид 2010 оны 12 дугаар сараас эхлэн Оюу Толгой компани бүх үйл ажиллагааг хариуцсан ажиллаж байна. Тэрээр 6 оронд 31 жил уулуурхайн салбарт ажилласан туршлагатай. Өмнөд Африкийн Richards Bay Minerals компани Ерөнхий захирлын албыг хашж байсан. Түүнчлэн эрчим хүч зэс аж үйлдвэрийн эрдэс Очир алмаз зэрэг уулуурхайн олон төрлийн үйлдвэрлэл эрхэлдэг Rio Tinto зэрэг дэлхийн томоохон компаниудад удирдах албан тушаалын ажил хийж байсан. Rio Tinto компани цайрын үйлдвэрийг Австралийн тэргүүлэгч CRK компанид нэгтгэж Австралийн зэсийн салбарт шинжилэл авчирсан Rio Tinto Group үүсгэн байгуулахад Камерон шийдвэрлэх үүрэгтээ оролцсноос гадна олон томоохон компанийг нэгтгэн хувьцааг нь худалдан авах ажлыг амжилттайгаар удирдан зохион байгуулсан. Худалдааны мэргэжлэр бакалаврын зэрэгтэйгээс гадна бизнесийн удирдлагын ухааны магистр.
Good evening.
Evening, Jargal.
You have been very busy these days.
I think
Tell us about what's happening with your board and so many noises all around. The whole world is hearing all these noises. Your market prices ups and down. How do you feel? What's going on?
Well, Jargal, I think it's a really exciting time at Oyu Tolgoi. Obviously, there's a lot of noise in a lot of places, but the really great news is that we're about ready to do our first shipment. We're 99% complete. We've built this project in record time. We've utilised Mongolian businesses. We've had people from 40 countries around the world who have participated in building a world-class mine. And that's really the great news. You know, the excitement at site with the employees, the excitement with the new businesses that are servicing us, is palpable, and we're just looking forward to really getting
flagship project, not only for the Mongolia, I think, it's one of the number 3 or 2 best copper world-class projects in the world, and certainly it's everybody is concerned if everything goes on time, and it's good news that you say that you will ship the first. When is it going to happen?
Well, we've actually produced our first concentrate, so we've got a few logistical issues to sort out, and then the concentrate will be loaded on the trucks and they'll be shipped to the border, and we'll be making our first revenue in a very short period of time. Again, it's very exciting.
Was the concentration up to standard you were expecting, up to 25 to 30%?
It's pretty much within spec. At this point, obviously, when you're making your first product, we've got a lot of metallurgical issues to learn about in the concentrator, but we'll be able to sell this product, which is good news.
And I also somehow I have heard that we live at with the cyclical price of this commodity, and you have done a good deal selling at a very good price a year or couple of years ahead.
Yeah, we've entered into a number of contracts with Chinese customers on international terms. The Rio Tinto copper marketing team have done a great job there, and these contracts are for a number of years, so they're sort of medium-term contracts, and we have the ability to extend those in 5 and 6 years' time. So it's very unusual for a large mine like Oyu Tolgoi to be able to sell nearly all of its product on contract and at international prices. So we're very proud of that achievement.
Have you have been recently some hurdles with your board, and there were issue of exceeding the cost plan, etc. Please brief us about what's going on now with your board and what's happening with that costs issue.
Okay. Again, the good news is that we've built this mine, the first phase of Oyu Tolgoi, in record time, and in terms of the budget, compared to other mines in the world, we've done a wonderful job from a cost performance perspective. The board are obviously interested in seeing how we go against feasibility study costs, And from my perspective, the control budget that was established about 2.5 years ago, we've delivered largely within 3% of that budget.
3%?
Yes.
And then what was the major complaint from the Mongolian side on that issue?
Well, you know, feasibility studies are developed at a point in time. You know, the studies that were done for the first phase were done in 2006 and then 7 and then updated in 8. And when the study was last done, it was at the cost of those days. And then when we start the project, you need to revise those for the costs that are available there. So at the time that we've started the project to the time that we finished, the costs are within 3% of the beginning of the project. And benchmarking tells us that we got a great result there.
All right, so you are saying that you exceeded budget within 3%, which is due to the current natural changes happening with the project?
Well, I wouldn't say that we've exceeded budget. What I would actually say is we've come in well ahead of schedule, which allows us to sell our product earlier, which allows us to bring a lot of revenues forward. And that's to the advantage of the shareholders, to the advantage of the government. The government earns foreign exchange a lot earlier. The taxation benefits accrue to the government much earlier. So I think that's a good result.
The other thing we have been hearing all around was about the project financing. And I understand you have done $5.1 billion invested into the project, and you still, for the second phase, of the project, you still need another $4 or so billion. Please tell us about that. Why do you need this project financing? How does it work?
Well, you know, a lot of money has been invested into Oyu Tolgoi already, and we need to think of that as being a good thing. You know, to be able to get milk, you need to buy a calf, you need to grow it into a cow so it generates some milk. So we've been investing up till this point in time to get our first revenue. You need to look at Oyu Tolgoi as a long-term investment with multiple waves of investment that are required. So phase 1 is to build an open-cut mine and to put all of the infrastructure in place to be able to bring the second and third and fourth and fifth waves investment on. The second phase of investment is actually the underground. And we started work on this in 2006. We're hoping to get first production from that in 2016. And that will require some additional finance. But Jargal, the benefits that are going to come out of the underground are going to be financially very significant and well worth the investment for Mongolia.
Certainly, that's why probably some 25 or so banks were ready to invest into the project, came to the country. Then we have some hurdles here and there. So what's the situation of that financing, project financing now? Is it coming?
Well, the project financing is at a very advanced stage. We've had great expressions of interest from the international banks, the IFIs and the commercial banks. You know, this will be, when it's completed, the largest ever project finance raising in the mining industry in the world. And that'll be a great achievement for Mongolia, and it'll be a great advertisement for Mongolia in terms of attracting other investments and their ability to get finance.
However, from the Mongolian side, they were saying that you guys are exceeding budget, and plus we pay management fee, and that fee is separate than the cost. What is that management fee is about?
Well, what's really important is that the project and the business is well managed. And there are a number of issues that are in discussion amongst the shareholders, but the management fee was agreed between the government and the company back in 2008, 2009. It's part of the investment agreement and the ARSHA that the parties signed up to. So again, what's really important is that for everybody, that we get this business up and running cost effectively and generating the revenues that are going to be so important for the development of Mongolia.
Because we are now working, you are a CEO nominated by one of the largest 3 mining companies in the world, which certainly has many years of experience on expertise, management, and which helps with that